Thanks very much, Carlos and Leon. Carlos, ABB Global Group, as well as South Africa, saw a good recovery during 2012. What were the key features of the recovery year?
I think we have a mix between South Africa and Southern Africa. So what we saw in South Africa was an increase on energy efficiency and an increase on renewables. So we had this large order for solar, and that had a huge impact on our growth. And we also, based on energy efficiency, we had this order from Eskom for motors, which most of it will be done in South Africa. So renewable and energy efficiency were mainly the two drivers in South Africa. If we look at South Africa exports into Southern Africa, then it was a mix between infrastructure and mining projects, and we have seen a lot of investments coming into Africa on the mining and oil and gas sector.
But your order backlog and your order book has grown significantly over the last year.
We're standing at 4.3 billion for the year as far as the orders are concerned, and a 4 billion backlog. And I would say, you know, on a market that we are living, difficult conditions, difficult trading conditions, a 4 billion backlog is quite good, which of course puts pressure on us when it comes to delivery of those projects and that order book.
And the cost structure in the South African economy seems to be changing, both for your client base in the mining sector and elsewhere, as well as for yourselves as a manufacturer. How are you've got these sort of favourable tailwinds in terms of the market conditions, but in terms of the headwinds of costs, how are you coping and dealing with that balance?
Well, you can see the glass half full of half empty. I mean, cost pressures are coming not only on the labor, but they are coming on the price of electricity and other costs. So as we move along, we have products, we have systems that in fact will help our customers to bring that cost down. On the electricity side, on the service and maintenance side, on products that are energy efficient. So for us, you know, you can see it both ways. We'd rather see it on a positive way. If I look at ABB, obviously by moving into Longmeadow, that has created new efficiencies that we did not have before. By moving the capacitor factory also to a new Longmeadow premises, brought new efficiencies. We brought new machines from outside. So in fact, we are preparing ourselves for those price pressures.
Yeah, and you're taking over the business at a time where the underlying operation seems to be in good shape. The sales outlook seems to be in quite good shape. You mentioned the cost pressures that are coming. But what are your key objectives for 2013, and what are your hopes for the market and for the sales growth?
Firstly, I think we've got a very good order book. So we need to concentrate and make sure that we can execute our order book extremely well, because that is something that puts huge pressure on a country where skills is short. There's a shortage of skills, and we in ABB have trained our people well to execute. I think we've got a good track record, so that is a big focus of ours. We cannot allow our costs to run away, because like you say, there is a lot of pressure on us coming from the east and from everywhere as far as cost pressures is concerned. So our main focus will be to get into renewable even further, and also on the rail side to get into more projects. ABB lost a big project last year, but that doesn't mean we're not interested in that market.
The South African infrastructure economy, you know, after a fairly slow start post the World Cup projects, seems to be picking up. You are exposed to most of those different sectors of the infrastructure economy. Besides the renewables, which is quite obvious for you, and I think you're already having large orders coming in, where do you see big prospects in the next few years?
It's really the replacement cycles at municipalities and within the utility Eskom. There is a lot of work coming, and that is already started to happen. So that is an area that's a good customer base of ours that we need to exploit further.
You weren't acquisitive last year, but ABB's got a track record of being fairly acquisitive in this market. Are you still on the prowl?
We will always look at what can complement our products and our systems and services, and where there is opportunities, we're definitely interested.
And Carlos, South Africa went through a fairly turbulent time last year. You know, we had the attention that was paid to us through the Marikana crisis. We've had a number of strikes subsequent to that. There have been issues about other countries emerging as potential gateway investment opportunities for big foreign direct investors such as yourself. You have chosen South Africa as a key base, as a key gateway into Africa, into Southern Africa, with Egypt being your base for North Africa. Both jurisdictions are going through troubling times. Is this still a viable gateway?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, we can't take events that happen for a period of 2 or 3 months and do strategic decisions based on those events. And I think if we look at South Africa, you know, every year there will be some adjustments that are needed, either on labor laws or on wages, whatever it is. But it comes a time that South Africans always find a way to go forward. You know, no one would have thought we would be where we are today in 1992. No one gave us a chance. And I think sometimes we are too negative when we approach most of our issues. And we have seen some of the events that happened in 2012 and maybe on the first couple of weeks of 2013 as a hurdle, rather than something that is here to stay. And then we look at the positive side. And South Africa is still in Africa the country with a better infrastructure, be it on a communication side, on a banking sector, on a shipping sector, on roads, on railways. So this is what we look when we want to set up base. And then on the other side, it's still here where we have the best skills. We understand and we know that skills are a challenge. We know that training and transfer of skills become a challenge almost every day. But still, this is the place where we have it the most in Africa.